Most people think dessert is the final chapter of dinner. Maybe it's a piece of cake, a scoop of ice cream, or just a cup of tea. But what if I told you that what you eat after dinner could quietly shape how well you sleep, how your heart beats overnight, how your brain restores itself, and even how sharp your memory stays as you age? And no, I'm not talking about supplements, pills, or some trendy superfood that costs a fortune. I'm talking about fruit. Yes, fruit. Natural, simple, often forgotten. The kind your grandparents probably grew in their backyard without knowing they were holding the secret to longevity. And tonight, we're not just talking about fruit in general. We're uncovering the best fruits for seniors to eat after dinner. Because after 60, and especially after 70, your body doesn't recover the way it used to. Every bite becomes more important. Every choice carries weight. And the quiet hours after sunset, that's when the real healing can begin, if you give your body what it needs. I met a man named Arthur once, 83 years old, sharp mind, retired railroad engineer from Pennsylvania. A man who lived through hard winters, raised 3 children, buried the love of his life, and still took pride in polishing his shoes every Sunday. But one day over coffee, he said something that caught me. "You know," he said, "I fall asleep just fine, but I wake up tired, not the kind of tired you fix with sleep. It's like my engine runs all night but never rests." That hit me. So I asked what he was eating at night. His answer, whatever's easy, crackers, toast, maybe some leftover casserole, nothing heavy. That's when it clicked. They go to work, and fruit, the right fruit, can support that work quietly, efficiently, and powerfully. The first fruit I recommended to Arthur was tart cherries. Not the sweet maraschino kind you find on Sundays, but real, sour, ruby red cherries. You can find them fresh in season, frozen year-round, or as unsweetened juice. Why cherries? Because they're nature's richest source of melatonin, the hormone your brain uses to fall asleep and stay asleep. Seniors often struggle with melatonin production. That's why so many wake up at 3 a.m., stare at the ceiling, and wonder why they're still tired. A 2018 study from Louisiana State University found that adults who drank tart cherry juice twice a day increased their sleep time by over an hour and improved their sleep quality significantly. But the benefits don't stop there. Tart cherries are packed with anthocyanins, which reduce inflammation and oxidative stress. That means better heart health, less joint pain, and even improved memory retention. Arthur started drinking 4 ounces of tart cherry juice after dinner, just a small glass. Within 3 weeks, he said he was sleeping deeper. No more waking up in a fog. "I even remembered a dream," he told me, first time in years. That's what I call elderly wisdom, listening to your body instead of ignoring it. Now, let's talk about a second fruit. One you probably don't think about much, but it might be sitting on your kitchen counter right now. Pears. Soft, fragrant, often overlooked. But when it comes to digestion after 60, pears are a gentle powerhouse. As we age, our digestive system slows down. Meals sit heavier, bloating becomes common, constipation unfortunately becomes routine. But pears help in 2 quiet but powerful ways. First, they contain both soluble and insoluble fiber. One feeds your gut bacteria, the other keeps things moving. Second, pears release sugar slowly. Unlike high glycemic desserts that spike and crash your blood sugar, pears provide a steady release of energy, perfect for nighttime balance. When your blood sugar remains stable through the night, your body can rest and repair without interruption. That means less midnight waking, fewer cravings, and better energy in the morning. I remember Eleanor, 76 years old, lived in a quiet neighborhood in Glasgow. Widowed for over a decade, still loved her evening walks and never missed her Saturday crossword. But she told me, "Every night after dinner, I felt heavy, not full, just uncomfortable." Her solution was beautiful in its simplicity. Half a pear every night, sliced with a touch of cinnamon. No sugar, no cream, just a ritual. She said, "My digestion felt smoother, my stomach wasn't bloated, and best of all, I stopped waking up in the middle of the night feeling like I needed to eat again." What Eleanor discovered was something we often forget. Food isn't just nutrition, it's care. It's a form of senior health. So tonight I want to challenge you. When you finish your dinner, don't go straight to the couch with a cookie or turn to another salty snack. Try what Arthur and Eleanor did. A small glass of tart cherry juice, half a pear sliced slowly, eaten without rush. Let it be a moment of intention, not indulgence. Because these little choices aren't just about health. They're about dignity. They're about sending a message to your body that says, "I still care. I'm still here. And I'm still choosing to fight for every good night and every good day that follows." Now I want to hear from you. Where are you watching from tonight? Are you in the US, the UK, maybe Canada or somewhere else? Your voice matters here. Drop a comment, share your story, or just say hello. And if this resonated with you, if something in Arthur's or Eleanor's journey reminded you of yourself, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on the bell icon so you never miss another episode of Elderly Reflections. Because here we believe in real-life stories, motivation rooted in experience, and life lessons from the elderly that still have power today. We're just getting started. Have you ever sat in the quiet after dinner and thought, is this really how I'm supposed to feel every night? Maybe your joints ache just a little more than usual, or you're not quite as steady on your feet. Maybe your vision blurs when the lights are low, or your memory slips in ways you don't like admitting. At this stage in life, after 60, 70, even 80, these things sneak up slowly. And if we're not careful, we start to accept them as normal. But what if some of those changes weren't inevitable? What if your body was still trying to repair itself, but needed just a little more help? And you could offer that help through one quiet, thoughtful choice after dinner. Tonight, let me introduce you two more fruits that may look ordinary on the outside, but hold extraordinary power inside. These fruits are like gentle mechanics. They don't shout, they don't overwhelm, but they go to work where it matters most. Your joints, your brain, your vision, your immune system. We're not talking about fads or miracle cures. We're talking about elderly wisdom, listening to your body, trusting nature, and giving yourself the care you deserve. So if you're still reaching for cookies or skipping your evening snack altogether, stay with me. You might change your routine tonight. Let's begin with a fruit that's been studied around the world, not just for its sweet flavor, but for its powerful effect on inflammation. Pineapple contains a unique enzyme called bromelain. It's been shown to reduce inflammation, improve joint mobility, and even ease symptoms of osteoarthritis. For seniors who deal with chronic stiffness, lingering pain, or nighttime swelling in the knees or hands, pineapple can offer a quiet kind of relief that builds over time. I once met a man named Bill, 70 years old, retired woodworker, proud grandfather of 6. He had hands like stone, but joints that groaned every time he opened a jar. His doctor gave him pain meds, but Bill wanted to try something else. Every night after dinner, he began eating a few chunks of fresh pineapple. Not canned, not syrupy, just fresh. Within 2 weeks, the swelling in his fingers started to ease. Within a month, he told me he could finally twist open the pickle jar again without pain. It's not a miracle, he said. It's just fuel my body actually knows how to use. That's what we're talking about. Simple support that allows your body to keep doing what it was made to do, even in your 70s or 80s. Now let's shift to a second fruit. This one for your eyes, your memory, and even your immune system. I'm talking about oranges. Yes, the same fruit you probably grew up having for breakfast may actually work better after dinner as we age. Here's why. Oranges are packed with vitamin C, of course, but they also contain flavonoids that improve circulation, protect cells in the retina, and brain from aging. Seniors often experience declining night vision, slower reaction time, and a dip in short-term memory. These changes are linked to oxidative damage in the nervous system, and oranges help fight exactly that. I spoke once with Diane, 74 years old, former librarian, still sharp as ever, but worried she was slipping. I'll walk into the kitchen and forget what I needed, she said. Her doctor told her it was normal, part of aging, but Diane wasn't satisfied with that answer. She made a few changes, one of which was eating a small orange or drinking a half glass of fresh squeezed juice after dinner. Within weeks, she noticed 2 things. Her eyes didn't strain as much when reading before bed, and she started remembering the little things again. The names, the tasks, even her neighbor's birthday. It's not that the orange fixed me, she told me. It's that I finally gave my brain what it was starving for. And here's what's beautiful about these 2 fruits. They work together. Pineapple calms the inflammation in your body, allowing your joints and muscles to rest. Oranges restore antioxidants to your nervous system, sharpening your brain and protecting your vision. One soothes, one defends, and when taken together, slowly, mindfully, after dinner, they become part of a ritual, a sign to your body that it's time to rest, to repair, and to restore. Now, I know some of you are thinking, won't fruit after dinner raise my sugar? The truth is, when chosen carefully, in small portions, and eaten with intention, fruits like pineapple and orange provide far more benefit than risk. They don't just give you sweetness, they give you strength. And strength after 60 is a resource we must protect like gold. So here's your invitation tonight. Skip the ice cream. Walk past the cookie jar. Take 5 minutes. Slice some fresh pineapple. Peel an orange. Sit down. No distractions, no television. Just you and your fruit. Let it be your closing act, the last quiet choice you make to care for yourself that day. Because every piece of fruit, every ounce of nutrition sends a message to your body: I still want more energy, more clarity, more years lived well. And if this message speaks to you, I'd love to hear where you're watching from. Are you tuning in from Florida, from Dublin, from Ontario? Your story matters, and so does your voice. Leave a comment below and let me know. And if this content is helping you make better choices, not just about food, but about life, then like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit that bell so you never miss what's coming next. Because here on Elderly Reflections, we don't just talk about senior health, we live it. We pass on elderly wisdom, life lessons from the elderly, and daily choices that support not only your body, but your dignity, your independence, and your peace. There's something sacred about the hours after dinner. The sun begins to set, the world gets quieter, and the body, if you let it, begins the work it was designed to do: repair, heal, reflect. And yet for many seniors, this is the hardest time of day. The energy fades, the mind starts to wander. Loneliness creeps in. You might feel restless, or worse, invisible. But I believe, with every story I've heard, every elder I've sat with, that these hours don't have to be the beginning of decline. They can be a soft return to you, a way to nourish your body gently, deliberately, with food that reminds your cells, your spirit, and your memory that you still matter. Tonight, I want to share the final 2 fruits in this evening ritual, small choices with deep impact. Because after 60, it's not about doing more, it's about doing what truly helps. Let's begin with one of the most calming, grounding fruits you can eat after a long day: bananas. Now, I know what you might be thinking. Bananas? Really? Aren't they too sugary? Aren't they just breakfast food? But here's what most people don't realize. Bananas, when eaten in the evening, especially about an hour before bed, can help calm the nervous system, reduce blood pressure, and improve sleep quality in seniors. Why? Because they're rich in magnesium and potassium, 2 minerals your muscles, heart, and brain need to relax. Most older adults are deficient in magnesium, and they don't even know it. That's why they struggle with restless legs, nighttime cramps, or tossing and turning for hours. Bananas also help the brain produce serotonin, which the body converts into melatonin, your natural sleep hormone. Think of it this way: while tart cherries supply melatonin, bananas build the foundation for it. Together, they're like a nighttime duo. One signals sleep, the other prepares the body to receive it. I remember a woman named Ruth, 81, gentle soul, former choir teacher. She told me she hadn't slept through the night in over 5 years. Her doctor prescribed sleep meds, but they left her groggy and confused the next morning. So instead, she began eating half a banana an hour after dinner, followed by a warm cup of chamomile tea. That's it. Within a week, she started sleeping longer. Her legs stopped twitching at night, and most importantly, she said, "I stopped dreading bedtime." That, to me, is everything. Elderly health is not just about numbers or medications. It's about peace, the kind of peace that makes you feel safe in your own body again. And now the final fruit, one that too many seniors overlook, but one that may be the most powerful for long-term health, mental clarity, and emotional stability. I'm talking about grapes, specifically dark red or black grapes. These small fruits are packed with resveratrol, a compound that has been shown to protect the brain, improve circulation, and reduce inflammation. But more than that, grapes are deeply hydrating and gently sweet, making them a perfect option to end the day. One study from Georgetown University found that older adults who consume grape extract daily experienced improved memory performance and better blood flow to the brain. But the key here isn't to treat grapes like a snack. It's to treat them like medicine, because they're not just helping your heart, they're protecting your memory. They're reducing oxidative stress, and they're offering a quiet form of support to a brain that has spent decades holding your life together. I met a retired teacher named Frank who told me he started eating grapes each night while watching the evening news. "They made me feel alert," he said. "Not buzzed, not wired, just more present." That's the word he used, present. And in your later years, that feeling of being here, truly here, is something worth protecting. So now we have 6 fruits, 6 quiet guardians for your evening health. Tart cherries and pears open the journey, followed by the tropical sweetness of pineapple and oranges. Now we welcome the mellow richness of bananas and the juicy bursts of grapes to complete the trio of nature's finest gifts. Each one supports a different part of your body. Your sleep, your joints, your digestion, your memory, your heart, your calm, but together they offer something deeper. They offer dignity. Because choosing these fruits is about more than nutrition. It's about saying, I'm still choosing to care. I still believe in my own welfare. That's what elderly reflections are all about. Not regret, but respect for the life you've lived and the years still ahead. And now I want to turn this back to you. Which of these fruits do you already love? Which one will you try tonight? And maybe more importantly, where are you watching from? I ask this not out of curiosity, but out of connection. This channel, Elderly Reflections, is not just a place for health tips. It's a community, a space where senior health, elderly wisdom, motivation, and real-life lessons from the elderly come together. Not just to add years to your life, but to bring life to your years. So, if you found value here, I invite. It's a small action, but it helps us reach more people like you. People who are quietly doing the work of living well, aging with intention, and nourishing their bodies with choices that truly matter. And tonight, as you sit in the soft quiet after dinner, maybe with a few grapes in a bowl or half a banana beside your tea, I want you to remember this. Your story is not done. Your health is still worth protecting, and your presence right now still has power. Here's to better sleep. Here's to clearer mornings. Here's to the quiet strength of choosing what heals you. One fruit, one choice, one peaceful night at a time.